Well, hello everybody and welcome back to day 2 of the virtual golf show. Welcome, good morning. I hope you're all ready for Christmas actually, because it's only a week away, isn't it? A week today it will be the Christmas festivities. But before we get to that, we hope you enjoyed yesterday. If you didn't catch any of the footage yesterday, please do go back and watch it. Wow, did we have a wonderful, wonderful day. We were joined by Chris Hanson and Adam Walker from the 2020 Pro Tour. We had Paul Faldo from Golfing Herald on the show, Pete Louders-Burt from Sports Alive, the man himself, Aaron Cox from Blackwell Grange Junior Academy. Then in the afternoon, we were enjoyed by Keith Mitchell from the Legends Tour. We had Georgina Simpson from National Club Golfer, Paul Hemlin from the Golf Show, and then we rounded it out ourselves as well. And boy, oh boy, do we have a feast of golfing action for you. I can see him in the green room below me right now. I will be bringing in the man himself, Matthew Faldo, very, very shortly. But before we come to that, let me just run you through the order for today. So yes, Matthew Faldo and the Faldo series will be up first. Delighted to say we'll be joined by Harriet Shephard, the editor of the Women in Golf magazine, a little bit later. And we've got pro golfer Emily Slater. She joined a fantastic season on the Rose series this year. Then we'll be joined by Richard Magill from Golfhubber. Then we'll go to a break, and this afternoon we have Tom Hayward from the Clutch Pro Tour, Mark Hatton from Golfing Days, and then we've got OJ Farrell, the Mizuno staff player. He'll be joining us a little bit later as well. Now, throughout today's shows, if you want to ask any of our guests a question, please do like, comment and share. Your best place to go to is probably Content Live Golf. Do head over there, like us on Facebook, ask us a question. Our team below are monitoring them. We can see them, and we'll ask any questions just so long as they're clean, first of all. Right, it's almost time to bring our very first guest of the day in, and it's going to be an absolute cracker. It's been a pleasure to work with the Faldo series in 2020. Yes, we know it's been a difficult year for everybody, hasn't it? But I did just want to show, before I bring the man himself in, I'm just going to have a little recap so you can all see our year with the Faldo series in 2020. He is Matthew. Welcome to the show. Matthew, can I just confirm there's no way we ate 76 bacon sarnies in 2 events?
I certainly didn't. That's for sure. I have to ask a separate Ian Pepper and Ethan. Ethan's a growing lad, so maybe he ate. He might have had 76 bacon sarnies.
Matthew, look, thanks for joining us today. First of all, I asked every guest this question: are you ready for Christmas?
Yeah, just about. I think I've got a couple more Amazon orders coming in. Just waiting for some posts, and then at some point I'll have to sit down and wrap all the presents. And yeah, it's although it's going to be quite a small affair this year. We're just literally real close family. I think it might just be 4 of us, whereas normally there'd be a good dozen or so. So yeah, I say looking forward to a break, but it's just going to be another couple of days and carry on, I think.
I was going to say there's no such thing as a break, is there? And I do know for a fact you live not too far from me, and we've just entered Tier 3, haven't we? Actually, tomorrow we enter Tier 3. So yes, it's going to be a very small Christmas, I think.
Yeah, it sure will be.
Right, let's get on to the year, shall we? Let's get on to the Faldo series. It's been a pleasure. First of all, we attended 2 events with you, didn't we? The Wales Championship and the South of England Boys Championship as well. How's it been for you, Matthew? It's been, we know it's an unprecedented year, but the Faldo series still happened, didn't it?
Yeah, we were. Well, I say we semi-lucked out in terms of our timings. I mean, we had to postpone a couple of events at the beginning of the year, obviously through Easter holidays. But then really, as the whole country was kind of in lockdown, we didn't have any tournaments planned anyway because of the kids would normally be at school. So July and August was our heavy schedule. And actually, as it happened, yeah, timings were kind of worked in our favour. Golf was almost one of the only sports that was allowed that we could do. So yeah, we as I said, we lucked out a little bit from that perspective, that we didn't have to change anything from a July and August scheduling perspective. In fact, as it turned out, I don't know if you mentioned, but we actually had to add an event because the demand was so high. I guess everybody not being able to travel or leave the country was to our benefit, really. So yeah, a interesting and different year, but we managed to make it work and have double our entries. So yeah, it worked out.
It was some year. I've got a couple of pictures just to show you actually as well. Let's have a look at a couple of images from the Wales Championship. How hot was this day, by the way? It was absolutely roasting, wasn't it? Although naturally I managed to wear a little gilet there. I did go and get changed. Look.
Yeah.
There we go.
Finally kit you up. I seem to remember we were matching that day, so it must have been something good.
I was just about to say, you're not in this picture, but you were probably just behind me in this picture here, because this was at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And yeah, we had exactly the same trousers on, obviously the same polo, the same hat on, and the same shoes pretty much, didn't we? It was pure fluke.
Yeah. Yeah. Great minds think alike, I think.
Absolutely. Look, we're going to touch on 2021 in a bit, but look, let's just look back at the history of the Faldo series. In 1996, it got underway, didn't it? Can you just tell us some of the names who have played on the Faldo series throughout that history?
Yeah, so to start with, I think our dad's first protege was Nick Doherty. So that was Big Nick and Little Nick. That was sort of in the late 90s. Then you had sort of James Heath, Zane Scotland, Sam Osborne, people like that. And kind of that created the initial Team Faldo, as it were then. Then kind of through the noughties, we saw the likes of Rory McIlroy, Ollie Fisher, Ben Evans, Carly Booth, Henny Brockway at the time, Henny Zul now. Although I think she just got married again, so that's another change. Mel Reid, plenty of names that came through all then, and then I joined in about 2010, and since then we've sort of seen the likes of Jordan Smith, Stephen Brown, Jackson Bra, actually even them going back sort of a little bit before then was Eddie Pepperell, Tom Lewis, Matt Wallace. Now we got Adrian Otaegi, and most recently, actually, Adrian Moronk. So that was a really great story for us to bring us sort of right to nowadays. That we first went to Poland in about 2010, and Adrian came to Lochern, one of our grand finals that time, and now to be one of the first sort of leading Polish golfers on the European tour, and very nearly got a victory. It's it's great, and we'll be here all day if I had to list them off. But yeah, we're very fortunate to have a great alumni list of people that have played in the Faldo series.
Am I right in thinking? I really hope my research is right here. I was going to look a right for here. Caitlin Patt. Recent US Women's Open Low Amateur. I mean, congratulations! By the way, fantastic stuff.
Yeah, Caitlin and Megan Kang as well. Megan was actually our first girl champion in the history of the series when we took the grand final to the Green Bar in 2013. I think it was 13 or 14. Caitlin joined us as well because at that time we did some work with the PGA of America. Caitlin won her age category. Obviously, Megan won as well, but they came over to China as obviously the European winners get to go to our Asia Grand Final. And then Caitlin also represented Team Faldo in what was then the Friendship Cup, which has now become our Major Champions Invitational. So, yeah, we've had a little bit of a history with Caitlin, and it's, great to see her like progress. I mean, when she was playing with us, she had just committed to go to Texas. So now she's, I think, probably coming to the end of her college days, and I'm sure she'll be looking at the professional ranks very soon.
I'm sure she will. Let's talk progression then from Faldo. Obviously, you can see it's pretty obvious that you've got a major chance of making it big time if you have success on the Faldo series. We know the age categories, isn't there? For the boys, it's under 16, under 18, and under 21. Once you finish the under 21 category, what happens then? What path do golfers tend to take from there?
Well, nowadays we're seeing a lot more people going off to college in America, whether it's scholarships and things like that. So that gives them another 3-4 years of really strong competitive golf throughout the year, whether they're playing obviously at college, and then throughout the summers they can play competition. So they kind of, I say, don't disappear, but obviously they head off to college for a couple of years, so we don't see them then. Or there's other players that if they're in UK, Europe, or Asian, they're playing Asian Development Tour, Europe, Euro Pro, Challenge Tour. Obviously, we still have qualifying school in Europe. So that's kind of really where the next steps are after us. We've got a partnership with the European Tour as well, and continuing to look at doing lots of different things next year and future. What I have done in the past, where we're fortunate enough to give some of our winners a Challenge Tour invite or a European Tour invite. So it's just really the whole, as Dad calls it, the ladder. You got to keep progressing up, keep playing all the different tournaments, getting used to winning, just being comfortable on the different stages, I suppose. That's probably one of the biggest things that we like to do with bringing in yourselves, for example, bring it back to the series, having media around, and it just tries to elevate the tournaments and just get people comfortable with, I'm now playing in front of a camera. I'm, a lot more people are seeing me just than my playing partners. So that's really where we like to give the opportunities, so that when these kids do go and play college golf or Challenge Tour and things like that, they're ready and prepared, so they can. It's not such a big shock to them, and they can fulfill their promise.
You must feel quite proud, Matthew, having sort of, almost guided a lot of these players, certainly for Caitlin, because it's just recently happened, as it literally happened a couple of weeks ago. She finished low amateur open champion, wasn't she? Do you get a sense of pride? You must feel a bit of pride when you see these players going on to have big, successful careers.
Yeah, Yeah, you definitely do. I think the strange thing is obviously you see them from such a young age, and I know touched on Adrian Morong. Like when I first started, I was the same working for the series. I was the same age as a lot of our sort of under 19, under 21 guys, so 19, 20, 21. And it was very strange for me, one being in a sort of being in charge and, they're just the same age. So, but then over time, yeah, exactly that. As you see them progress and you think, oh, wow, I remember that kid and what they played in and how they played. And yeah, then all of a sudden you see them on Challenge Tour and European Tour and things like that. And yeah, it's like, oh, wow, I've had firsthand experience of seeing these guys and girls like growing up and progressing. So yeah, you definitely proud just to, I mean, obviously we're a small part in their journey, but yeah, it's nice to at least that they are a part of the Faldo series.
Any eagle-eared listeners or watchers watching this might have noticed you might have given your age away a little bit there, Matthew. I won't ask you your age, but you said earlier you joined the series in about 2010, and you were the same age as the guys come through around about the 19, sort of 20 mark. So, okay, 10 years on. All right, yeah. Congratulations. I guess you've fairly recently-ish had a biggish birthday.
It's a couple of years ago now.
There you go. You're completely giving it away now. Matthew, look, let's talk grand final this year. Unfortunately, couldn't happen, could it? What's the plans for next year?
Yeah, big plans. Yeah, as I said, unfortunately, we couldn't take the grand final to the Middle East this year, which actually would only been a couple of weeks ago. We looked to try and bring it into the UK, but then just as we were about to announce it, we all went back into various lockdowns, or certainly Wales, where we were looking at going, went into their local lockdown. So that unfortunately didn't happen. But as we've said all along, we will promise the finalists that have qualified to go to a grand final. So next year, I've been in discussions with Gavin at Alain. So we're looking at doing some, basically combining two grand finals into one, and that applies both for Europe and Asia. Asia, unfortunately, has had a really big delay. I mean, that would be a solid 18 months from when the kids were expecting to play a grand final. Obviously, it was March, pushed back to October this year, March next year, and then we're going to have to push it back again to October. So we're this time next year is going to be very busy. But yeah, we're kind of still planning ahead to do a normal season. Really, I think everything that was in place to put on the tournaments, keep social distancing, all those sort of things, worked really well. We utilised our Faldo series app unbelievably well this year through the scoring. So the kids did the scoring, didn't need scorecards, cross-checked everything on their phones. So there was no cross-contamination of scorecards there. And that helped. That actually helped massively from our logistical standpoint as well, checking scores. So yeah, we're kind of planning as normal from a European and Asian perspective, and then also strange things of 2020. Some really great things are coming out. We're really looking at having a partnership. I can't delve into it too much, but we're looking at 30 plus events in North America next year. So that'll be huge for us. And then our continued talks with European Tour, RNA, of where else we can expand into. Latin America is a big one for me. So yeah, 2020 has actually been a busy year to plan for 2021. So fingers crossed we can get back to some the new normal, as it were.
Where are you with it now, then? Because what are we now? We're a week out from Christmas. When does the process start for next year? Because obviously, one thing that completely just went over my head was that you can only run the events in school holidays, can't you? So does that cause you headaches? Or does that actually make it easier because you know when you can do it?
So the process started a good couple of months ago, and always does. Sort of October, November time, you really sort of start looking at next year. I mean, sometimes it can be really easy. You pick up the phone to the clubs that we've been going to, and we've got great relationships with, and it's right. What are your dates? And lock it in. Others are a little bit trickier. But sorry, what was your second part of your question? You said.
Well, I was saying, does it actually sometimes, because they're on, they're in holidays, you know when you're going to be, essentially, don't you? So does it actually make scheduling a bit easier? It's kind of, the schools do it for you, don't they, almost?
Yeah, yes and no, really. Yes, it's easy that you have your time period, obviously Easter and July and August, pretty much. The difficulty then becomes trying to fit in tournaments around this. There's so much. So if you take just the UK, for example, there's so many events that go on for all the kids, whether it just be club competitions, county competitions, England golf, England, Scottish, Welsh, Irish golf. You've got to take all of those into consideration. And then obviously there's other, like the McGregor and things like that, McAvoy, all those sort of things. So you kind of just have to dot it around. I mean, we've always wanted to add events, but also the fact that they are 54 holes, so that automatically takes up 4 days. So that's not as easy. We'd normally, despite it being in the summer holidays, we normally go midweek anyway. So yeah, you're trying to squeeze in whatever that would be, 6 events into sort of an 8 or 9 week period with dodging everything else as well. But you find a way, obviously, and the only difficulty is really like clashes. Everybody always says, "Oh, why are you clashing with this? Why are you clashing with that?" But with the amount of tournaments that there are available to the kids, it's inevitable that there will be some, which is annoying, obviously, because you'd love everybody to come and play in your own events. But at the same time, it's great. It's amazing that these kids have such choice in the UK. If you take other countries, some of our developing countries, obviously, that we go into, they don't have as many tournaments. So the scheduling's not as tricky, but at the same time, you still want to make school holidays and the right time of year to make sure that we can fulfill a really strong field. I think one of the big things as well over the last couple of years for us was going to Al Ain as a grand final venue, because that extended our season right through to November. So, for example, I know it's a different time of year, but our South Africa event is September. We're looking at having another one maybe October half term. So that's just giving you 1 or 2 extra weeks where you can potentially squeeze in an event. Whereas normally, previously when we had our grand final, sort of September, October, obviously it just shortens the season. So it's a bit of a puzzle, but you finish it in the end anyway.
I was going to say, for the last sort of 25, 30 years or so, you've been piecing it together pretty well. So my question is, people watching this and they'll have kids and, who show a lot of promise, getting up to the age where they can start to compete. Who can compete in the Faldo series? Is it open to anybody within the age categories, or do they have to have a certain sort of standard of play, I assume?
So we're 12 to 21-year-old boys and girls. So everybody can play. Yes, depending on the age category, as you go up, there are handicap limits in terms of just into entering. But so, I mean, they're obviously a decent standard, but sometimes we have to do a ballot, obviously, that goes in. The cutoff is even lower. I remember some under 18 cutoffs at 2, and whereas our entry limit on under 18 is actually 6. So, it really varies on event to event. But having said that, we're looking at some other bits and pieces actually next year, which will be lower age categories, so under 12, under 10, and under 8. So that's a potential partnership that we're looking at right now. But yeah, we're open to everyone. Obviously, as I said, developing countries, the restrictions on, well, I say the restrictions, the handicap limits are a little bit higher because maybe the quality of golf is not there. But, you know, that's one of the great things that I've seen in my 10 years. We've been going, as I said, Poland, Slovakia, Czech Republic. We've been going there for 10 years now. And if you compared the scores from year one to what they are now as a whole field on an average, it would be unbelievable, because I remember the scores in those tournaments that you'd have a handful of people, boys and girls, shooting like good scores, and now you like the whole field is really good. So, I mean, it's amazing how those sort of countries have developed.
I can certainly vouch for that, having been to a couple of the events. Matthew, I can't believe it. We're actually, can you believe that's time already? How quick does time go? Now, you can also tell this is live, because look what I've just had delivered. No, I'm not being paid by this particular coffee brand at all, but there you go.
Other brands are available.
Other brands are available. Yeah, yes. There's a particular nice place in Ascot, but we won't go into that now. Matthew, thanks so much for your time. Have a lovely Christmas, won't you? Do say hello to everybody for us. I hope you get those Amazon deliveries in time. Otherwise, that could be a little bit awkward for you. Yeah, we'll catch up in the new year, won't you? Have a lovely time. Try and enjoy it, and we'll see you out on the course next year.
Yeah, thanks very much, guys. And yeah, thanks for your help as well this year. I think it's really taken our qualifiers to another level with having you guys running around with your cameras. And yeah, as you said, we're really looking forward to next year, having you guys on board as well. So yeah, bigger and better things as usual for the series. And yeah, have a good Christmas, everybody.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. Right, we are going to go to a short ad break now, but when we come back, I'm delighted to say I'll be joined by Harriet Shephard from Women in Golf magazine. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Paul, and this is The Golf Show. those. I can try it like that. That's even worse. I can try it with a snood, or I can try it like that.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I think 30 to 40 seconds might be a bit optimistic for me right now, but I feel a bit like Jeremy Clarkson when he did that review of that Vauxhall Vectra that time. No, seriously, what am I meant to say?
Absolutely, and to illustrate the weight of the golf bag, as Phil said there, 10 to 12 kilograms, which is the equivalent of not 2, not 4, but 6 2-litre bottles of Coke. But as you can see there, got a little hole in that one already after just 4 rounds.
Oh, it's looking good. We've got a big club twirl.
Come on.
Here we go.
Oh!
4'10" when the pressure matters.
Yeah, look at my sock. You know, you can probably wringing water out of it. Oh, it's a beauty.
I'll take that one. I know I had a... Did it on me then?
I was going to need a new camera. That was mega. Sorry, I thought you finished. Sorry.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Virtual Golf Show. Big thank you to Matthew Faldo there from the Faldo series. A lot of exciting things happening in 2021 there, and talking of exciting things happening, I couldn't be happier to be joined by Harriet Shephard from Women in Golf magazine. Harriet, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, and I have to say, Harriet, actually, I'm really chuffed about this because we've actually worked together. Essentially, we've kind of worked together all year, haven't we, really? We've never actually spoken until right this very second. Have we?
No, just lots of emails and back and forth.
But it's a real pleasure. Thank you for coming on today. Look, we're going to talk Women in Golf magazine because there's a lot of exciting things happening. But it gives a little bit of background about the publication, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, definitely. So Women in Golf is the UK's leading media brand covering women's golf, and it was founded almost 30 years ago in 1991 and was always traditionally a print product that, when it came out every 2 months, had a very loyal subscriber base. And then earlier this year, we decided to go digital only. It always had a website, but it was quite old and it needed updating. So we relaunched the website at the end of the summer, and that's got a whole new members area, which is our replacement for the subscription to the print magazine. And yeah, we've got the ability to do so much more now. We've got a lot more videos, a lot more going on social media. And as you say, it's been a really exciting summer. So there's been lots to write about. And yeah, it's been a great year.
It has been a superb year, isn't it? We're going to cover off sort of professional golf very shortly. Yeah. But there's the types of things that you cover in the the digital edition now.
Yeah, all sorts of things, everything from the professional game to the amateur to things at club level, issues affecting just the average woman golfer or girls, our ultimate aim is to grow the women's game and get more women and girls involved in enjoying golf. So we sort of renewed our commitment to helping beginners as well. So we've created a whole new beginners section where we cover the etiquette, the rules, the terminology, just things that when you take up golf are a bit baffling and nobody, unless you have a friend or somebody to explain them to you, it can be quite daunting. Yes, and I also do a lot of opinion pieces. We have some guest columnists in, so all the usual issues like dress codes, whether it's hoodies, collarless shirts, less glamorous subjects like we need more toilets on golf courses, because a lot of women write to me saying they can't play more than 9 holes, or they have to go play 4 hours with nothing to drink in the summer because they're worried that they'll need the toilet.
Great point, by the way. It is actually a really, really good point. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that column did quite well actually, because I don't think many people talk about these things, or perhaps not intentionally, but if men own the golf club, they perhaps don't think about these things, that it's actually women do base their decision on where they join on things like that, like are there toilets on the course, etc.
Absolutely. Well, I actually took a screenshot of your website last night. So I'll just show everybody. This is the homepage. It just looks, it's so clean. It's so easy to follow. And I really like it. I'm not just saying that because you're on the show, but it's not, isn't it? And it's just clean, and I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really pleased with it. It was a lot of work, and there's still technical glitches from time to time, I'm not going to lie. As there always is, I suppose, when you launch something totally new, but it's really refreshing. And I've tried to keep it very simple, easy to navigate. Instruction is a big thing on there. Like that's always comes up top as our most viewed. So we've got lots of short game, long game, course management. It's fabulous, really.
It is. It was quite, obviously it was a since 91 been in print and then moving over to only digital. I imagine obviously COVID probably was a factor in that. But how's it been? What's the response been to the new website since you made that decision?
It's been very positive. I mean, a lot of people in the industry are very pleased. I've had people say they're also doing the same thing, also going digital only, as you say, for various reasons. And also amongst our readers, we had naturally some who were like, no, I like the print, I like getting that. But I think they have realized there are huge benefits to being digital, that we can be so much more quick at reacting. Like they don't have to wait 2 months to read who won the tournament, because obviously by then it's such old news. They get it instantly. They get instant reactions, like whatever the gossip is, what people are talking about, like straight away we can be on it. And as I said, instruction, they love that. So that lends itself naturally to video, I think, rather than photos and words. So I think they do really appreciate that. We've also been able to do a lot of virtual events, which would have been possible with print, such as we do Q&A with England Golf's head of handicapping before that came out, and that was really useful. And that was sort of a members only perk as well that they got for their subscription, and that went down really well. And we're going to be doing more of those in the future, doing more live interviews with players, people from the industry, hopefully starting a forum, because a big part of women in golf is the community and the fact that it's all very like-minded female golfers who can all talk and swap ideas. So we have a very active Facebook at the moment, but we want to expand that. And yeah, and as you say, COVID, I think even perhaps our older readers had got used to doing things over Zoom, doing things digitally, so it perhaps wasn't as confusing or as big a change to them as it could have been in a normal year.
Excellent. Well, look, if anybody actually, funny enough, I've just put up there, if anybody's got a question for Harriet, please do comment. We're actually on the Women in Golf Facebook page right now, aren't we? So if you're watching
exactly, yes.
So look, let's look ahead to next year, shall we? I'm hoping, one thing I hope for next year, Harriet, is that we continue this relationship. We're looking at bringing a lot more live golf next year, and I thank you for allowing us to broadcast it to your audience as well. I hope everybody's been enjoying it. But what are your plans for next year with the magazine?
Yeah, we have big plans. Again, probably lots of changes. We're going to go back to doing our reader events, which we had to cancel this year, sadly, for COVID. So we'll have lots of those going on throughout the country and abroad. As I mentioned, we also want to launch a forum so we can get people chatting a bit more. We're going to have more collaborations with people across the industry, and yeah, just keep growing our audience. Basically, as I said, we're hoping to reach younger golfers and more beginner golfers, and I suppose naturally taking that step into digital, we have expanded our audience to sort of younger than we were using Instagram, etc. And also, interestingly, I was talking to Jeremy Tomlinson from England Golf just this morning, and he said the biggest increase this year has been 25 to 40-year-olds. So, which is good news, because we're not neglecting our traditional readers, but we're just trying to broaden our appeal and, as everyone is, get more people of different ages playing golf.
Absolutely, and you have to adapt, don't you? You know that's what life is, and that's progression. Actually, you've led me quite nicely into the next question. We're going to talk about this year in golf and how it's been for women's golf. Do you think it's been a successful year for women's golf?
I do, yes. Obviously, as a whole, golf's been super popular. It's had its hardships, of course, but a lot of people have come back to the game, taken it up. Women's golf in particular, we obviously had the Rose Series, which was massive and came along at exactly the right time when there wasn't much else going on in the sporting world. So lots of people watching that, really interested in that. The Women's Open was also able to go ahead, whereas the men's wasn't. And we had an amazing winner with Sofia Popov. And again, that was a lot of people were watching that, which probably in a normal year maybe wouldn't be tuning into the Women's Open. As like with the people you work with, like Clutch Pro Tour, 2020 Pro Tour, we've got lots more mixed golf. England Golf are also doing their first mixed amateur tournament under 18s next year. But yeah, I say golf was lucky. It was a socially distanced, safe sport. And I think going into next year, we're just concerned that golf clubs and the industry just try and keep these women and try and make themselves as welcoming as possible. And
Well, I can tell you from sort of my year in golf, some of the golfers I've seen, one golfer in particular who stood out for me, Leanne Bramber. I don't know if you know Leanne at all. We covered her quite a bit this year. She is an exceptional talent. In fact, Lily Mae Humphries as well. We covered her. She recently played at the US Women's Open, didn't she? And it's incredible. I can't believe that people wouldn't want to tune in and watch women's golf because the standard is exceptional. I mean, you know, I wouldn't dare play with any of these ladies because I would just...
I know, why would you? You'd be...
So, look, it's been a good year for women's golf. Rose Series, we mentioned it. In fact, I'm delighted to say after you, Harriet, we've got Emily Slater joining us, who had a successful year on the Rose Series.
Amazing.
Let's tackle getting more women into golf. Why do women not play golf at the minute?
I think in some ways it is still viewed as a sport for men, and that's just about changing the perception, I think. But as Annika Sorensen recently said, I think some golf clubs do need to work on making themselves more welcoming to women. I mean, some are amazing. I've been to so many brilliant golf clubs where there's really thriving female sections, lots of women taking it up, but then some perhaps, as I mentioned before, don't have facilities for women, don't make them feel welcome, do still feel a bit like the women's locker room is sort of tacked on the end and sort of an afterthought. But as you say, this year's changed totally. We've just seen it with all the golf clubs who are hosting female events, putting on more initiatives. I think the fact that dress code is changing will help as well. We've seen more of the players wearing more sporty clothes this year, and that's also down to the brands like Adidas and Puma producing more sort of modern, stylish clothes. Because, I mean, let's be honest, young women are not going to want to do it if they're wearing clothes that they feel embarrassed about or they don't feel like they look nice in. So I think there are various factors. I think the time is an issue, that it can take so long. But then again, this year people do have more free time, so that's been better.
Golf has had a real opportunity this year, hasn't it? And I actually think it's taken it to an extent, be one of the few sports that was actually able to come back quickly, wasn't it? I know when we did 2020 Pro Tour at Cleckheaton, I think it was the first event back, and what an event that was, by the way. We had Amy Bolden playing in that, we had Carly Booth playing in it, and it was just fantastic to see. And it was a good opportunity for golf to make the headlines. And like you say, I actually think golf is cool now. You know, it seems weird saying that. I probably shouldn't say the word cool at my age, but you know, I do think golf is cool. You know, like you say, the brands are bringing out, you know, nice clothes that actually, before golf clothes, you could only wear golf clothes at the golf club, couldn't you? But now golf you can wear out and about. Where do you stand, Harriet, on the hoodie debate? Are you for it, or are you against it, or are you not really bothered?
No, I'm for it. I'm all for the hoodies. I think, as I say, golf has this image of being sort of a bit stuffy and a bit stuck up, and you can't go around telling people they can't wear a jacket just because he's got a hood on. And again, some people have this idea that hoodies are scruffy, but they're not. As we know, there's so many sports where you can wear a smart hoodie and still look smart and presentable. And yeah, I think it's just essential. Obviously the traditions of golf are brilliant and they're part of the charm, but they do need to adapt and they do need to move with the times. Otherwise, yeah, young women will choose to take up something else where they can look good and where it's easier. But as you say, it is looking more cool, and these players like Amy Bolden and all the rest of you neighbours are absolutely helping that, because they look so good and they're so talented, and so many of them have won this year from the UK, like Mel Reid, Georgia Hall, Amy. So hopefully going forward, we'll see so many more.
I actually think it's been one of the strongest years for women's golf we've seen for a long time, if not ever. I was lucky enough to interview Dame Laura Davies at Sunning a bit earlier in the year as well. What a pleasure that was. And the mix is there. You know, it is on the up. We've seen Sky Sports recently live streaming the Ladies European Tour as well, and for free as well, so people can go and watch it. You don't need the Sky Sports subscription. And I think people are getting it now. They're understanding and they're seeing it, and rightly so. Like I said before, the players I've been around, like Leanne Bramwell, I keep mentioning her name, but I kept saying it. I kept embarrassing her every time I'd see her as well. I put a lot of pressure on her. But she's going to be a superstar. It's just unbelievable how good these players are. Yeah. And we're just chatting to Matthew Faldo before. Of course, the Faldo series has a ladies category, well, two age categories for the ladies as well. And going on to see them, you know, Caitlin Papp, for example, played in Faldo series, and there was US Women's Open Low Amateur the other week. It's growing, it's going the right way, and it's actually, for us, it's quite nice to be a part of, to be honest, because to showcase the ability of what's going on. Look, with regards to the magazine, the digital magazine anyway, if people want to find out more, we've got the handles running across the bottom. Let's talk the membership. What does that involve? If somebody wants to become a member on the website, what do they do?
Yes, so as you mentioned, it's running on the bottom. Just visit our website, go to our members area, and then you can sign up. So we've brought in a paywall, so after 3 articles, you will get an annoying message popping up saying you need to sign in. And so once you're a member, you get unlimited content. You also get extra competitions, extra discounts. These discounts are for our own events. So if you want to come to a women in golf event next year, you'll get £20 off, and your membership is £20. So you may as well buy the membership, is our advice. And you get extra instruction videos, virtual events, as I mentioned, access to a forum. So it's basically bringing what we had in the print but online, but then offering a bit extra and more options to interact with different people.
Go on, sorry. Yes, sorry.
Sorry, I was just saying, just going back to your point before, I think it is all about just encouraging people to watch women's golf more, and now there is the opportunity, like thanks to the work you're doing, and as you say, Sky Sports streaming it for free. I think it's once people start watching it, they realise that, yeah, how amazingly good they are. I mean, the players have always said this, if you put the product in front of them, they'll realise that, oh, they're just as good as the men, or perhaps in a way they're more relatable than the men because they hit it more similar distances to the way we do, but they're just incredibly skilled and incredibly accurate at doing it.
They are, and you know, I can vouch for that, having been seeing it firsthand. How I was going to say, I see on the Women in Golf Facebook page quite a lot. When we're not in lockdown and things like that, you have the best job in the world, by the way, don't you? You get to go play all these courses, you get to go all over the place. Where's your favourite course that you've played?
Probably going to Glen Eagles in Scotland was just amazing and very difficult for me, but it was brilliant. Just the most stunning scenery, amazing 3 courses. Just a surreal place.
Yeah, do you know, I've never been. If anybody from Glen Eagles is watching, to go up next year. Do you mind if I ask, Harriet, what's your handicap?
Well, I don't actually have a handicap. I'm as you've seen, a roaming golfer who has not been playing for too long. So.
Okay, fantastic. But you've actually been in the golf industry for quite a while, haven't you?
I have. Yes, I used to work for National Club Golfer, who were on yesterday. But that was a few years ago, and then I went to work in the Middle East and did Time Out magazine. So I still wrote about golf because obviously they have tournaments over there, but I also wrote about all range of different things, and then came back into golf and found this amazing job with Women in Golf. And
what a great job you're doing, by the way. Thanks so much, Harriet.
You.
Please do go check out the website as well. It is running across the bottom, www.womeningolf.com. Follow them on Twitter as well, @women_and_golf. It's really difficult to say. And it's running across the bottom, just like for yourself. Do go check it out. Harriet, plans for Christmas? So you just, I assume you're just at home. There's not really a lot we can do.
A very quiet one this year, unfortunately, but...
Fantastic. Right, that's Harriet Shephard from Women in Golf magazine. Do go check it out. Like I say, the website's running across the bottom. We're sticking with the Women in Golf theme, actually, because after this next break, I'm delighted to say we've got Emily Slater joining us. She's had a successful year on the Rose Series. We're going to find out all about that, and I'm going to surprise her. She doesn't know it yet, but we did some filming with her at Sonning while she was playing. She hasn't seen it. We're going to play it out live for her and get her reaction. Harriet, have a lovely Christmas. Have a wonderful New Year, won't you? Thank you so much for your time today. I can't wait to carry on working with you next year as well. And it's nice to finally actually talk for the first time ever.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me. It was lovely to meet you too.
It's a pleasure. Right, we'll be back live after this short ad break. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Paul, and this is The Golf Show. suppose I can try it like that. That's even worse. I can try it as a snood, or I can try it like that.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I think 30 to 40 seconds might be a bit optimistic for me right now, but I feel a bit like Jeremy Clarkson when he did that review of that Vauxhall Vectra that time. No, seriously, what am I meant to say?
Absolutely, and to illustrate the weight of the golf bag, as Phil said there, 10 to 12 kilograms, which is the equivalent of not 2, not 4, but 6 2-litre bottles of Coke. But as you can see there, got a little hole in that one already after just 4 rounds.
Oh, it's looking good. We've got a big club twirl.
Come on.
Here we go.
Oh!
4'10" when the pressure matters.
Yeah, look at my sock. You know, you can probably wringing water out of it. Oh, it's a beauty.
I'll take that one. I know I had a... Leave it on me then.
I was going to need a new camera. That was mega. Sorry, I thought you finished. Sorry.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Virtual Golf Show 2020. And a huge thank you to Harriet Shephard there from Women in Golf magazine. And, well, we have another star guest on the show, don't we? Here she is, Emily Slater. Emily, how are you? Are you well? Oh, Emily, I think we've... I can't hear you, actually. I think we've got a bit of an audio problem. We'll see if we can get that sorted very quickly. Oh, there we go. Is that... Oh, that sounds better. Hello. I'll tell you what we'll do. What we'll do, Emily, I've got a nice video to show everybody of you in action whilst we try and get this audio sorted. So I'll play the video and then we'll come back and see if we can get that sorted. Bear me one moment. Right, so here we go. This is Emily Slater in action at Sonning. A little bit earlier in the year, whilst we were filming live there, we did follow Emily's group quite a bit. So sit back and enjoy
Emily, how
this.
you doing? How's your day going so far?
Yeah, it's good, thank you. Nice to be a bit drier now than
Yeah, I was chatting to your playing partners actually. It looks like you got caught on the third a bit.
Yes, we did.
How's sort of back nine started for you? Still a few holes to go yet, isn't there?
Yeah. It's been pretty steady. I made a good par on the 12th.
Yeah.
To kind of keep a bit of momentum going, but it'd be nice to roll a few more putts in this nine.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, we've seen you on the Clutch Pro Tour a bit this season. What does next year hold for you?
I'm not sure yet. Hopefully a bit more of the LET stuff.
Yeah.
Depending on the world
Be good to
situation.
have the Access Tour back, and of course the European Tour
Yeah,
back.
exactly. And then I'll carry on with a few more of these events. They've been great.
Brilliant.
I've loved every one of them I've played in. So
Are we going to see you at Berkhamsted?
maybe, I'm not sure yet. We'll see.
Brilliant. Look, best of luck. I'll let you crack on. Thank you. There we go. Emily Slater's made a drop. Like the ball's up. Where is it? There you go. Oh, great shot. I think she'll be kicking herself. That's why she didn't do that first time. We're going for the outright win. I'm sort of looking at the scores at the minute. Tom Sloman is the man in the clubhouse with the lead at 4 under par. Let's have a look, shall we? James Adams is still out on the course. Maybe he's the man. He is 4 under through 11. Tom Sloman is 4 under through. Oh, lovely. Fantastic shot, though, to finish out. At least that somewhat makes up for it. Right, we're going to stick with this group. Okay. And that's landed well right on the green. What, Emily? Confident stroke. Stop, stop. Oof. Right, so there we go. That was an entertaining section.
Let's try and bring Emily back in. Hello, Emily. Can we hear you?
Hello.
Yes. Hey, how are you? Are you well?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Not too
Got
bad,
there in the
not too
end.
bad. Hey, that's the thing with being live. It's it happens, but it's great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for your time today. You may notice that little video there. We obviously followed you at Sonning for a little bit, didn't we? For a few holes. What's it been like? Let's get straight into it, shall we? We know this year's been your first year as a professional, hasn't it? And what a year to have turned pro. Just tell us about it.
Yeah, it's been very different. Obviously not the conventional year, really, as a rookie, particularly obviously with the virus and all that's gone on with that. But it's been great. I've had quite a lot to play in, really, considering all of those restrictions. So yeah, it's been a good year, good learning year, I think.
It certainly has. And you've been playing since you were 11, when you first picked up a golf club. And then, of course, last year you were a full-time amateur working at, by the way, you're at the coolest golf club in the world. It's got the best name ever, Golf Club, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tell us about the golf club, first of all. What's it like? I've never been, so.
It's great. The practice facilities are fantastic, and we've got 2 golf courses, so membership is quite big. It's quite a vibrant golf club, lots of members. It's very busy all the time, so there's always someone to chat to and play with, which is great. Quite a lot of us around the same sort of age, which is really nice for the competitive edge, really.
Absolutely, and you've certainly taken that competitive edge and taken it into 2020. I know that the club and the members, they've been a big support of your career, haven't they? Were they a big factor in you turning professional as well?
They were. Yeah, from the moment I joined quite late, really. Golf in Cambridgeshire is quite few and far between golf clubs. So I joined only about 3-4 years ago. And they've been very supportive ever since I joined. Always kind of wanting to know where I am and how I've got on in tournaments. And they've been very good. Good to me, yeah.
So how do you make the decision to go pro from amateur? What obviously there's no denying you've got the ability. That's not in question. What's the turning point? When do you go, right, I don't want to be an amateur anymore. I'm gonna make it as a pro. What prompted that decision? Was it support from the club? We know the ability's there already, and it just made sense, or was there another factor in it?
I've always known from quite an early age that I wanted to turn professional. I wanted to make it my career. So it was just probably the right time for me. At the end of last year, I'd kind of accomplished a lot in my amateur career that I couldn't kind of see myself achieving much more from the amateur game. So I felt like it was the right time to move up a level and try the professional ranks.
And actually, it was a good move, wasn't it? I know 2020 was a bit of a strange year. We've everybody knows about COVID, and it's still here, but we don't need to go into it too much. But actually, it did present an opportunity that perhaps might not have been there had it not been around. And I am, of course, talking about the Rose Series. Now, you played in the Rose Series quite a bit this year, and a bit of success. Tell us what happened at Bearwood Lakes.
Yeah, it was good. It was just one of those days where actually I felt quite rushed in my warm-up, which is quite unlike me. I like to arrive in plenty of time not to feel rushed, but it was kind of a bit of a rush to get to the practice ground, hit a few balls, and then back to the first tee. And I felt a little bit like nervous on the first tee because of that. And I was just like, just go and play golf. Like, we'll see what happens. And started off okay. And I don't tend to look at the leaderboards as I'm going around, but I noticed the one on the 12th, after the 12th green. And I have no idea what I've scored most of the time either. So I had a kind of benchmark. I knew kind of what I was doing. So just thought, let's play the next few holes solid, and we'll see what happens. And it wasn't until about the 16th hole that I realized that maybe something was going on at the top of that leaderboard, because all these cameras came rushing around, and I didn't know what was going on. And they followed me in up until the 18th, and just missed out on by one shot. So that was a bit disappointing, but it was a great experience to be up there.
For those who don't know, of course, you finished tied second, and you had a couple of top tens as well. What was it like playing on the Rose Series? It was a last minute kind of tournament. It was very well organised, wasn't it, by Justin Rose and co. Did you get an invite? How did it come about playing in the Rose Series?
Originally, it was just obviously supposed to be that first event at Brockenhurst that Liz Young had organised, and I'd put my name down. We had an email, Liz is trying to organise this one-day women's event at Brockenhurst, her golf club. Would you be interested? So I put my name down. Obviously, at that point, there was nothing to play in because everything had been postponed or cancelled. So it was a good opportunity just to, play with other professionals and actually play a professional event. So it was originally just that first event. So I put my name down, and then, it spiraled up from there. There was a few days after that, Justin Rose had put his name to it, and it had created this series that was, 8 weeks long, and just one a week every week, which is great. It was a nice focus to have away from the current situation as well, just to focus on playing golf each week.
It was, and it was actually fair play to everybody, because it was a great event in the end, wasn't it? In fact, the whole series was fantastic. My question, Emily, then is, because obviously, we're involved in media. We followed you around with a camera at Sonning and numerous times throughout the year. Does it get irritating when people like me start pitching up as you're about to tee off and we start talking to you?
No, not at all. No, not at all. I think the first event that I played in might have been the second, actually, that you guys were there. I was a bit nervous. I wanted to shy away from it, but it's fine once you get into it. And I feel like it's not like the typical media stuff anyway. I feel like you're more friendly, and you don't kind of stick it in your face when you know you don't really want it. But no, it's good practice as well for further down the line, the media stuff, which I hadn't obviously had that experience as an amateur. So it's been great actually.
Good. Well, let's talk about the future then, shall we? Let's talk about 2021. Fingers crossed, we'll Ladies European Tour, Access Series, etc., will all go ahead as planned. What are your plans? Where are you looking to be playing next year?
Yeah, it's quite difficult at the moment to plan. This is the time of the year that I usually try and get my schedule in place, but obviously with the ongoing situation in the world, it's pretty difficult to know where you might be. But my plan is hopefully a full year of the Access. Obviously it's in Europe, so a bit more tricky with travel restrictions, but hopefully full year on the Access. And then I think the Rose Series are planning maybe on doing another series, so some of them, and definitely a bit more of the clutch stuff. I really enjoyed that this year.
They are cracking events, aren't they? They are a lot of fun. Right, Emily, I always like to ask, I've got my bag here, as you can see, but you're far better golfer than I will ever be. I've got some rogue irons here, so sort of, a bit of a chopper. Let's talk about your bag. What everybody likes to know what a pro golfer has in their bag. So let's go from top to bottom. What driver do you play?
I've got the Titleist TS2 driver in my bag at the moment.
No, I probably couldn't hit it for love nor money. Fairway woods. Let's go fairway woods. Do you?
I've got a 3-wood and a 5-wood, which are the Callaway XR woods. Nice. And my hybrid is a Titleist TS2 as well.
So you have a hybrid. You do play a hybrid.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
I have a hybrid. I have to say, and I probably use it for every single shot, really. So, do you have long iron? Do you use your hybrid as a long iron replacement, or do you have long irons?
No, I do use it as a long iron replacement. I am looking actually to get like a 4-3 iron for obviously courses that require that, particularly obviously off the tee, or if it's a bit drier, or the lie. I like to use the hybrid's so great out of thicker rough that you can't really get an iron to, so I quite enjoy that. But yeah, it's just an iron replacement really at the moment.
Fantastic. So what irons, going back to your main irons, what do you play?
I've got Titleist CB irons, 5 to pitch and wedge.
Yeah. I've seen a bit of a Titleist thing. Wedges then.
They're Vokey as well, Titleist.
And putter. What do we go for?
I've got the Odyssey 2-ball triple track putter.
Nice. Okay. So what ball do you play then? Do you play Callaway or Titleist?
No, I play Titleist. Yeah, my dad actually has been drawing the triple track on my Titleist, and people always think, oh, it's a Callaway, but actually, my dad's been drawing the lines on, which is very nice of him, actually.
Very, very good. If I was playing and had to draw it on the balls, I'd probably have to do about 2 dozen. Certainly if there's a bit of water on, I have to say. Emily, in your professional career so far this year, of course, the first year as a pro, where's been the favourite course that you've gone to this year, perhaps that you haven't been to before and thought, wow, this defied all my expectations?
I think obviously Bearwood was very nice. Not just because of the result, but I actually quite enjoyed the golf course as well. It's round that kind of Sunningdale area, which I quite enjoy them golf courses around there. But Wentworth was quite a good surprise as well. I mean, we'd been to watch the PGA there pretty much most years, and really playing it was a lot different to actually spectating. Unfortunately, obviously, we didn't get all the round done, but it was. I really enjoyed Wentworth as well.
I was going to say, you were there, weren't you, when the fire broke out. What was that like? Was that quite scary?
It was quite weird actually, because we could kind of see all this smoke but really didn't know what was happening. Once we'd kind of got to the 9th, all this smoke was obviously coming across to the golf course, but we just thought nothing of it still. I mean, it was quite hard to see by the time we'd got to the 12th, but still no word of, what was going on or if play was going to be suspended. And obviously by the time we'd got to 13, 14, we were kind of going back out of the smoke, so it wasn't too bad. There was one point where we couldn't kind of bushnell like the pin. You couldn't see the pin, which was a bit worrying. But yeah, it wasn't until we teed off on 16 and this ref came over, and it was quite a funny experience actually, because we wondered why this ref was like stopping us, because we'd all hit it down in the middle of the fairway. And I was like, no, it can't be because like, a lost ball or anything. And he said, oh, play's been suspended. And at that point, it didn't even cross my mind still. And he said, yeah, play's been suspended for about an hour behind you. Still none the wiser, had to mark a ball walking. And it wasn't actually until we nipped back to our car and I got my phone out and there was all these like messages about, I've seen it on Sky Sports, like how, like what's going on. I was like, what do you mean that you've seen it on Sky Sports? And it wasn't until I actually logged into like Twitter and I saw this fire had actually moved over to the golf course, which would have been incredibly scary, but thankfully everybody was okay.
Yeah, I remember seeing it on Sky Sports. I couldn't believe it. I was like, because I don't live too far away from Wentworth. And as you say, I go up to the BMW PGA every year as well and look at the course and just think I wouldn't have a chance playing up there. And of course, playing it's very, very different. But yeah, it must have been. I bet you've never experienced something like that, even in your amateur career, have you?
No, not at all. No. I mean, the only things that really get suspended are for storms or torrential rain. So to have a fire was, a completely new experience, really.
Absolutely. Look, Emily, it's almost time. Can you believe that? It's amazing how quick time goes, isn't it? Just you turned pro this year, as we've mentioned before. What advice do you have for sort of younger girls coming through who are thinking of potentially making that step or looking to make that step in the future? What advice would you give?
I think enjoy the process, enjoy the journey of the amateur golf and getting as much experience as possible. Dream big, there's no limit to how far you can go, particularly in this game. And just keep going and playing and getting lots of experience.
Well, the only thing I'll say, Emily, is when you make it big on the Ladies European Tour and in the LPGA and you win all these majors, please don't forget your old mate Ian, all right?
I will not, no, I won't.
Emily Slater, thanks so much for your time. Please do follow Emily on social media as well. Her handles are running across the bottom, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. In fact, we actually are broadcasting this to your Facebook page right now as well. Emily, have a lovely Christmas, won't you? Have a superb new year as well. Perhaps not the Christmas we're all hoping for, but do have a lovely time anyway. And I'm sure we will catch up. I'll probably be bugging you on a course somewhere next year as well.
Yes. I look forward to it.
So much. Right, we're going to go to a short break, but I can see our next guest is in the green room waiting with a bated breath. It's going to be Richard from Golfhubber. We'll see you in about 10 minutes. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Paul, and this is The Golf Show. goes. I can try it like that. That's even worse. I can try it with a snood, or I can try it like that.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I think 30 to 40 seconds might be a bit optimistic for me right now, but I feel a bit like Jeremy Clarkson when he did that review of that Vauxhall Vectra that time. No, seriously, what am I meant to say?
Absolutely. And to illustrate the weight of the golf bag, as Phil said there, 10 to 12 kilograms, which is the equivalent of not 2, not 4, but 6 2-litre bottles of Coke. But as you can see there, got a little hole in that one already after just 4 rounds.
Oh, it's looking good. We've got a big club twirl.
Come on.
Here we go.
Oh!
4'10" when the pressure matters.
Yeah, look at my sock. Oh. You know, I can probably wring water out of it. Oh, it's a beauty.
I'll take that one. I nearly had a... Leave it on me then.
I was going to need a new camera. That was mega. Sorry, I thought you'd finished. Sorry.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Virtual Golf Show 2020. And big thank you to Emily Slater for joining us for the last session. And I'm joined by an incredibly handsome man to my right here, Richard from Golfhubber. Richard, how are you? Look around. Have a good look around.
Very well. Yourself?
Not too bad.
Not that I can see you, but you're hiding.
Well, actually, in that case, if you can't see me, I'm going to tell a little story. This is actually the second time within the last sort of 24 hours that we've met virtually, isn't it? Last night, I was preparing for the show, and then your face just popped up, didn't it? I mean, that could have sounded a lot more dodgy than it was, couldn't it?
Lucky I wasn't just in my pants.
For a change. Richard, thanks for coming on the show today. It's a real pleasure to have you on. Of course, it says there, co-founder and CEO of Golfhubber. For those not familiar with Golfhubber, tell us more about it. What exactly is Golfhubber?
We started Golfhubber about 5 years ago now. It's an app. It's a place that kind of brings clubs, pros, amateurs together on a shared digital platform. So what we're trying to create is almost like a one-stop shop for golf. So we've got multiple different profiles on the app, so which do different things. So for clubs can sign up to the app and provide live scoring for golf days. They can data capture. They can sell products and services. Pros can sell golf lessons, market to our community. Amateur profiles, they can do live scoring. There's 39,000 scorecards. They can keep stats. We are just about to launch our society pages. So the societies will be able to have a page on the app. They'll be able to provide live scoring, keep a record of all the scoring, and just have that kind of interaction. And obviously, we've got tour pages as well.
It's incredible, isn't it? It's so in depth. I actually took a screenshot last night of the. This is where you go. If you go to the website, I think it's running across the bottom as well. Download the app. You can download it there on Google Play or the App Store. And like you said, it's not just a live scoring app. I know it obviously with our work with the Clutch Pro Tour that we've been doing this year. I've used the app extensively. I've got it on my phone as well. But I mean, you've mentioned a number of the features in there. Let's just dig a little bit more in. We know about live scores. What about social media integration? Is that something you do as well?
Yeah. Again, it's about creating. We always found that kind of golf is quite archaic in the way it works. With clubs, with data capture, interaction. So, and a lot of apps that are out there just cater for either a club or they're a club system, or they cater for the amateur with GPS. So what we've tried to do is just put everything together. So it's that one place. You can follow your friends, you can see their stats, you can interact that way. We're launching many new features where you'll be able to challenge other players and not even play at the same time, but challenge them. You'll also be next year be able to see live scorecards. So if I'm playing on the course, I can stick that up live, a bit like an Instagram story, and you can click and see your friends and give them banter and have that interaction. I think golf with COVID this year, it's kind of, I think it's the not that it's a good thing. Obviously, it's been horrendous, but it's what golf needed, a kind of kick up the butt, really, to take it, kind of push it into the digital world.
It's funny you say that. Exactly. Actually, we had Harriet, Shephard from Women in Golf magazine on earlier, and they've made the decision to switch from print just to go to digital and online. It is the way things are going, and this app can pretty much do it all, isn't it? Now, you probably might not thank me for saying this, but could it almost be described as almost a CRM, I suppose, for clubs? We haven't tried to take over any of the club systems because they're obviously, I always describe it as they're great software. They've built amazing software that runs clubs, runs POS and all that kind of stuff. We don't do that. We're a tech company. So what hopefully our stuff is fun. It looks good, it's sexy, people enjoy using it, ease of use, it's not clunky. So, clubs can use it, clubs can sell to our community, they can sell tee times. We've just done some big contracts with, tee time companies where we'll be able to provide live tee time. So again, it's just, club systems as well, they cater for the club member. The biggest market is the nomadic market. We really, we cater for the club golfer. If a club has our system, it's an added value benefit. But for the club, the nomadic golfer who isn't part of a club, they can download the app, they could follow 4 or 5 clubs in their area, and then receive bespoke notifications from them, marketing, tee time offers, lesson offers, whatever it may be. It's catering for that larger market, really, for the golf club, which is untapped. It sounds like a digital marketing tool, essentially, doesn't it? This is the app here.
Definitely. It's a marketplace as well.
It is, yeah. There's the app there. I've got it up, and it looks slick, and it is slick, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's easy to use. It's nice.
Always improving.
Richard, I did want to talk to you about Birdie Time. Tell us more about that.
So Birdie Time is a lesson tuition app. So high-level content, bespoke to whatever you want, whether it's putting, chipping, your weaknesses. We've got 8 of the best kind of coaches in the world there: Paul Casey, Phil Kenyon, Robert Rock, Hugh Marr, all providing live content that is tailored, for amateurs. So it's a subscription model. They can sign up to it and be taught by these amazing coaches. So we acquired them this year. It was a long process. That finally finished in October. So they're a part of the kind of Golfhubber family now and is part of the app. And we're going to look to do, some amazing stuff, hopefully, with that. Artificial intelligence, maybe because you can keep the stats on the app, it'll see where you're going wrong. Where you putting too much or you missing everything right. And, we might show the app will pick up on that and show you maybe a training, something, you need to work on the range to kind of help you out. So we're even looking at high-end coaching trips. So you can go away, with these amazing, coaches and learn from them, one-to-one.
I don't think there's enough training videos to help my game, but I'd certainly give it a go. Richard, you mentioned there, now we've got something to talk about here, haven't we? You mentioned about going away, and you could maybe go with some of these players and do these things. I'm not really sure how to introduce this a little bit. Can I get you to take this away with potentially a new venture that you might be working on?
New venture. Yeah, so we were approached by quite a few of our users asking about, can we have live scoring when we go on holiday? Can we use it? Can you set up a Ryder Cup for us? A lot of them have been burned recently by some of the big players in the industry, and I don't think it's their fault and I think they run great businesses, but obviously no one could have prepared for what's happened this year. So I would say the big travel companies probably over leveraged. And they're letting a lot of their kind of customer base down. So they've come to us, and it seemed just like an easy transition to set up. So we've set up Golf Travel Hub, which is going to be a travel agent effectively for golf holidays. We've teamed up with some very great guys in the travel industry. So they're going to be running it, and we'll be supplying the live scoring for every holiday. It's a complete package. Funny enough, we've just booked one now for one of our users. There's 56 of them going to Ireland, to Druids Glen, to do a Ryder Cup format, England against Ireland. We're providing the live scoring. We're also in a position now where we can give them a society page. So they've got their own page for that, so they can put their banter on it, social media, all their pictures and videos. It's something they want to do every year, so they can keep that kind of page and, keep that running. And they'll have live scoring every day in whatever format they want, and they can set that up themselves. So as I say, it's for us, it was a no-brainer. The people, we've got a loyal client base. The user base is growing and growing constantly, and so they can come to us for their travel needs. We'll provide the live scoring. We're even going to look at maybe doing for every holiday you book, every user would get maybe a month's free subscription or a putting course, chipping course before they go, so they can try out the Birdie Time section of the app as well. So it just kind of all meshes together nicely. It's that one-stop shop.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say this would be perfect for, you just mentioned it there, societies, where certainly there's quite a lot of people. So if I could book a holiday through you, I could go on holiday, I could upload all my scores, I could get coaching whilst I'm out there with Birdie Time. I could literally have my entire golf life in Golfhubber through you.
Well, hopefully that's the idea. There's obviously other great apps out there, great companies out there, but obviously if with the guys that are using us have seemed to love it, and we get great feedback. There's loads of things we're going to be adding. We're looking to add GPS to the app next year. As I said, we're adding live tee times. So as I said, it is that one. Hopefully, that one will become that one-stop shop for everyone, and also for pros. You know, as I said, like we've launched Golfhubber Pro, which is a lesson booking app, so they can actually have their own page. They can market golf lessons to our community and their own members. They'll be able to. So if I'm being coached by someone, they'll be able to look at my profile. They'll be able to see my stats. They'll be able to see where I'm hitting the ball. You know, obviously because I think people have preconceived ideas. You know, I would say my chip-in's the worst, and it is. It's dreadful. But you know, I might be hitting the ball, you know, short of the green every time, or long of the green, or left of the green. But you probably don't think about that. But by seeing your stats, or your coach seeing your stats, he'll be able to kind of, you know, help you in the best way possible.
So could you take it? Could you know me, for example? Could I have a Golfhubber account and just out there down the range and just learn about my game from it? Really?
Yeah, the stats are more kind of online for the stats side of things, but birdie time, yeah, definitely. You can, with the birdie time coaching, you can do that from home. There's drills that you practice, and rather than it being almost like YouTube content where there's obviously this just massive content and you can just watch loads and loads of stuff. You know, it's tailored, so the videos are released to you at a certain time, so it's done step by step.
Excellent, fantastic stuff. Well, look, anybody interested, please do go download the app. You can see the website's running across the bottom at the minute. Again, let me just bring the screenshot up. If you do go to the website, this is the homepage that you will see. But of course, you can download it on Google Play, download it on the App Store. It is pretty impressive stuff. Now, Richard, let's you've mentioned your game a little bit. Let's talk about
one thing.
your
I'm going to
game
jump in quickly because I forgot to say, with the Golf Travel Hub,
do.
we've teamed up with the Clutch Pro Tour, so we're going to be putting on a pro with them end of February in Turkey, and we're also going to be looking to do a few throughout the year, and definitely some, you know, stuff at the end of the year where players and amateurs can get away, a bit of sun at winter time.
I think what needs to happen, that if that was live streamed, I think that would just be really, really tick all the boxes, wouldn't it, over in Turkey? I think that would be brilliant. If only we knew a golf live streaming company who could go and do that. Some winter sun would do me very well indeed. Right, let's talk you, Richard. Let's talk about your game a little bit, shall we? I know you play quite a bit, don't you? Every time I seem to bump into you, you've got a golf club in your hand. What's your favourite course?
Favourite course, UK or world?
Okay, UK first, and then we'll go world.
UK. Do you know what? It's either Sunningdale or Swinley Forest. I think Sunningdale, probably Sunningdale, but I do love Swinley Forest.
Nice. Any particular reason?
I think them Heathland courses. I just love it. I think it's a proper test. Yeah. It's just a proper test.
Okay, worldwide then. Let's go worldwide, and you have to have played it.
I have played it, and unfortunately, I played it. I've only been playing 9 years, and I played it when I was off kind of a higher handicap, and it was I did Sawgrass. So I went. Yeah, it was amazing. It was on a tour, and we played Sawgrass 3 times. And what I loved, because I'm a golf geek now, and I love golf, is just playing the course, you know, seeing that played every year on the players, and, you know, having played it's amazing. Yeah. And it's just, they do it differently, I think, in America. You know, everything's taken care of. It's very service orientated, and I just think, amazing. I just wish I was better at the time.
What's that 17th like?
Do you know what? It's not that bad. I hit it every day, and I was off 16. But it's only like we were playing it. I think it was 110 yards when we were playing it. I'm guessing in the middle of a tournament when there's millions watching, then it's probably really difficult. But to hit the middle of the green, I was going to say you might be able to do it, but
well, if you take me out there,
we'll go and try it. Should we try it?
Yeah. What's been your lowest ever score, Richard?
It's probably at the Hertfordshire, which is my home club. So 67, so 3 under.
Really? Blimey, well. What's your handicap now then?
I've been crucified by the world handicapping system. So I was 2.5, so 3. and I'm now plus 0.4, which I'm going to struggle to play to. I had a couple of really good rounds about 2 months ago when I was playing, like lockdown came and we were playing every day, and I had the 67, 268s and a 69, and then slightly over par. So that's giving me a 0.4 handicap, or plus 0.4. So
wow.
yeah, not enjoying life at the moment.
I was going to say, you kind of been punished a little bit there, haven't you, for playing so well?
If you see me chip, I chip like a 30 handicapper.
Right, holding one. Did you have one at Sawgrass, by the way?
No, I never Sawgrass. Unfortunately, I've actually had two. What's bizarre, again, when I was a high handicapper, one was horrendous. I knifed it and it went in the hole. Unfortunately, they were both on a society days with a bunch of Irish guys who I started kind of my golf game with, and it was expensive. Yeah, very expensive.
Yeah, I can imagine so. And you did you honour it? Did you honour it at the bar?
Of course. They wouldn't have let me not.
Right, Richard. Thanks so much for your time this morning. Actually, I can't believe the first session is almost over. In fact, the third session of the Virtual Golf Show completely is almost. We've only got one left, and in fact, we've got somebody you know very welcome. We've got Tom Hayward from Clutch Pro Tour. He's on at 2:00. We've got Mark Hatton from Golfing Days. We've got Mizuno star player OJ Farrell, and then my ugly mug to finish up with as well. So, Richard, plans for Christmas? You just at home? You've got the Christmas tree behind you there?
Yeah. Well, I'm at the Hertfordshire actually at the moment, looking at crazy people playing. Yeah, just at home, mate. To be honest, I got 3 boys, new puppy. That's enough. I don't need family coming around.
Congratulations. Yeah. Sounds like an offer. Richard, I'll see you in the new year at some point. I have no doubt about it. And it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, mate.
Co-founder and CEO of Golfhubber. Do go check it out. Download the app and you can see the details running below.
Merry Christmas.
Right, that ends our morning session, the Friday morning session. That's it for the Virtual Golf Show Friday morning. But don't forget, we will be back live at 2:00. We're going to go get ourselves a little bit of lunch. We'll be joined by Tom Hayward from the Clutch Pro Tour at 2. We're joined by Mark Hatton from Golfing Days, and we've got OJ Farrell, the Mizuno staff player, coming up. Thanks for watching this morning session. What a treat it's been. Thank you to all of our guests, and we'll see you at 2:00.